It's Week 13 of the National Football League. And we'll get a look here at Trey Lance. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles on Sunday night primetime.
Set for football now at AT&T Stadium. Brandon Aubrey has the honors, and we are underway here in Arlington. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
So here come the Cowboys onto the field with excellent position to get things started. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
2nd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll try the left side. Dixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Eagles offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. And as we check out the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns coming into the weekend, see a familiar name there near the top of the leaderboard, currently 2nd in that category. And his throw here's incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You look at this Cowboy defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pack. Barkley hit and the ball pops free.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
This one goes out wide for Barkley. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right. So
they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
Now a give, right side. Dixon. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. This now a 3rd and 4. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go to Barkley again. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Lance. He finds his man complete. It's Rose. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Lance. He finds his man complete. It's Rose. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. 1st down in the red zone.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. On 1st down, Dixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. 2nd and a couple. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here's Lance. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jake Ferguson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are able to stretch out their lead. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And not much doing on the return. Good coverage there. Going to stop him in his tracks at the 15-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. 3rd and 2. Throwing is Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now Lance. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
3rd down and 13. From the gun, it's Lance. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Matt Araiza now on to punt this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. You look at this Cowboy defense. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Lance able to hit his target. Lamb takes this to the 45. Broken tackle, bought him a little extra space. The numbers for him from a week ago, 6 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
Now a give, right side, Dixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Dixon. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Off of play action, here's Lance. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Lance to throw it. That is caught and brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb with career touchdown number 60. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. The Lance going to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. One of the tight ends comes in motion. They'll run here on 3rd and goal, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Aubrey now for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And able to get this out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense and CeeDee Lamb ready to take over once more. And as we move deeper into the season, he continues to put up big numbers on a weekly basis. As you see here, he's the NFL's leader in receptions to this point of the year. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Lance throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A strong running. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. There it is, the defense waking up after 3 plays that hurt them. Finally, they stand up.
They have a little pride, too, you know. 3 straight first down type plays. Yeah, they wanted to make one stick on their side, didn't they?
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Shotgun now for Lance. He finds his man, complete. That's Rose. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Franklin. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. And Lance now to throw. Open man, the tight end, Luke Schoonmaker. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Lance looks to throw again. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. And he missed it. It's no good. And the lead will stay put at 17.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this will be caught by Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They'll look to throw here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Breaks through the contact. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 14. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. The kick by Elliott is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Now that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now here come the Cowboys. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out at the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here this first half. That's taken in by Franklin. And he will have a Cowboys first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now Lance. And this one quickly to Lamb. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's Lance. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was the Vikings who were able to get the victory at home. J.J. McCarthy, strong in the victory, as his guys managed to cobble together their 3rd win in an otherwise dismal campaign. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Damian Pierce, a touchdown run in the victory. And then finally, we wrap up the week with a good one on Monday Night Football between the Miami Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers. In that first half, we were treated to a stellar performance by quarterback Trey Lance. He's got a touchdown through the air as his guys have raced out to a gigantic early lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And he's very much alive in the race for most receiving yards by a wideout this year. Currently ranked 2nd in the NFL at this point in the season. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Lance. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Gonna need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Here's Hurts to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. And this one's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Throwing now is Lance. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Hurts. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And that will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's Lance to throw it. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. Dixon. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' 1st down as he'll get this up close to the 30-yard line. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Second down, here's Barkley again. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Working from the gun, Lance. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Lance. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. From midfield, here's Lance. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
Lance, a quick throw out wide, complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Now Lance going to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Rose. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now Lance again. And he will find his man on the outside. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lance. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Back to throw again. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And showcasing those strong legs on that run. Getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. Hurts sets up to throw it. Man open left side is Brown. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as he'll get this up to the 39. Throwing is Hurts. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That is caught, and he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's to the sideline, and it's intercepted. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
The Cowboys offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Lance looking to throw it. He'll get that complete to Franklin. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. In motion, the tight end. Shotgun now for Lance. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line. And Lance now to throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Lance. Touchdown! From 6 yards away. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Aubrey now for the point after. And that stretches the lead to 27. A A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Eagles' offense set to begin their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. They'll look to throw again. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Up the middle with Barkley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 3rd and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one snap closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. 32 yards. And the Eagles are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Rose. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Here's Lance to throw it. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number one.
They'll run on first down. It's Rose. Room here to run. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 51 yards. And the Cowboys are going to be moving on to 12-0 as they extend their lead further.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And out now come the Eagles. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's got his man on the out route. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down. They'll set up to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Out of the gun now on third down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Back to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now down to 20. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Rose. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Rose. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Dallas, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year.